Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have arrived. It is the weekend, finally, of the 90th Academy Awards. So it's time to put all the chips on the table, lay it all out on the line. I'm all in. It's time for some Oscar predictions. But first, let's roll that intro.
Now, sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
With a tiger when your head is in its mouth.
Can I ask you a hypothetical question?
Oh dear, I don't like hypothetical questions.
Well, I don't think you're gonna like a real one either.
What happened to make you behave like this?
What did De La Cruz always say?
In my experience, that's an excuse to feel good and just lack off.
Why?
Because.
Why?
Because.
Tell me why!
Because it's all I have left. I want to go where culture is, like
How
New
in the
York,
world did I raise such a
or at least
snob?
Connecticut or New Hampshire.
They've been abducting black people, brainwashing them, making them work for them as sex slaves and shit. Oh, sorry about the shit.
I can't believe you changed it again.
Oh, I changed a little bit.
Yeah, why?
All right. No.
I don't think those billboards is very fair.
Get up. Do your fucking job.
You can't do anything!
Is that permissible?
No, but necessary.
Hello and welcome to Old, New, and Now, playing your time machine through the world of movies. I'm your host, Will Robinson Smith, and it is Oscar prediction time. So we're going to be going through all of the major categories that I listed out for you in my prediction video, and obviously this isn't going to be like an in-depth analysis of all the films that are nominated in each category. I'll be going through what I think actually will win, and then have a little commentary about either what might win or what I would like to win if it's not what I think will actually win. And so with all that out of the way, if you want to see all of my predictions, you can go back and watch that video again. But we are going to start off today with Best Original Song. So to refresh your memory, the nominees in this category are Mighty River from Mudbound, Mystery of Love from Call Me By Your Name, Remember Me from Coco, Stand Up for Something from Marshall, and This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. So we're starting off a little on the easy side. I figured we'd just kind of ease our way into this whole process. I think for this one, Remember Me from Coco has a pretty tight lock on this category.
Remember me.
Coco was such a wonderful and heartfelt movie, and this song was not only a powerful encapsulation of the film, but was also a driving plot point in certain spots. So this is an easy one. This is what I think should win. This is what I think will win. However, an upset could come from Mudbound and Mary J. Blige's Mighty River, just because I don't think she's going to win in the Best Supporting Actress category, and so this might be a way to acknowledge the fact that she was nominated in both, so that's something to watch out for. A lot of people did like Greatest Showman too. Next, in cinematography, we have Roger A. Deakins for Blade Runner 2049, Bruno Del Bonell for Darkest Hour, Hoyt van Hoytema for Dunkirk, Rachel Morrison for Mudbound, and Dan Lotston for The Shape of Water. This one's a little tricky just because I really like the cinematography for Darkest Hour. It's actually one that I saw earlier this week as a way to catch up and make sure I saw basically everything before we had this discussion, and you know, you can't count out Mudbound just because of that historical aspect of the fact that Rachel Morrison is the first woman in the Academy's history to be nominated in this category, but I think I'm going to have to give it to Blade Runner 2049. The visuals were just so compelling in this movie, especially building upon the original film. This may be the movie's only win of the night, but I think it has a good chance here. I think if we're going to have an upset in this category, it's probably going to be for Mudbound just to make that moment of history even more prominent, but anyway, that's one to watch out for. So let's move on now to the writing category. This is Best Adapted Screenplay. Nominees here are Call Me By Your Name, The Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and Mudbound. For this one, I'm going to go with the momentum on this, and a lot of it is going toward Call Me By Your Name. It's It's a fairly simple story, but the characters that are created here just feel so honest and genuine, and the journey that they go on as they explore their love is captivating. Plus, the movie picked up the Writers Guild Award in this category, so it's a pretty good bet here. So I don't think it really has a shot of winning, but I would love to see Logan pull an upset in this category. It was obviously one of my favorite films of last year. It was top 5 on my list, so that would be really cool to see those guys pull a win and get one for the comic book genre. Now this one's a little trickier. The nominees for original screenplay include The Big Sick, Get Out, Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. One of the reasons I say this is trickier is because when the Writers Guild had their award ceremony, they actually didn't have 3 billboards in this category. Instead, they had I, Tonya, and so given that reality, they gave the award to Get Out. But take I, Tonya out, put 3 billboards in, it makes it a bit trickier. I think Get Out could make a sneak play here and take it. I would love to see The Big Sick, but I think they're honestly going to go with 3 billboards. I think 3 billboards might make a decent run on the night, and I'm betting this will be one of its wins. It's a gripping story that has some really rich characters, all of whom are flawed in some way, but each also has a redeeming quality, which is not an easy feat to pull off. Let's move on to our first acting category, Actress in a Supporting Role. For this, we have Mary J. Blige in Mudbound, Allison Janney in I, Tonya, Leslie Manville in Phantom Thread, Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird, and Octavia Spencer in The Shape of Water. Looking to the guilds for guidance again, I'm betting this one is going to go to Allison Janney for I, Tonya. Janney played a wonderfully horrible mother in the movie, and one that you resented but didn't fully hate. There was a little bit of redeeming about her, but then she would do something awful and then the cycle would start all over again. She also struck the right comedic tone when the timing was just right.
Nice to get your shit. I didn't like my mother either, so what? I fucking gave you a gift.
Personally though, I kind of want to see Laurie Metcalf win in this category just because I loved Lady Bird and I thought that her performance alongside Saoirse Ronan was really what made the film work. It was that really authentic mother-daughter relationship. For actor in a supporting role, the nominees are Willem Dafoe in The Florida Project, Woody Harrelson in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Richard Jenkins in The Shape of Water, Christopher Plummer in All the Money in the World, and Sam Rockwell in 3 Billboards. Again, going with the momentum behind him and what the Screen Actors Guild went with, I think Sam Rockwell, this is your year, buddy. Personally, I thought his character got a bit too much redemption by the end of the movie, but I can't deny that he gave a great performance throughout the film, especially in the triangle relationship between him, Woody, and Frances McDormand's character. That said, I think Willem Dafoe probably has a good chance here too. I mean, I recently saw The Florida Project as my way of catching up for this video, and I thought he gave a really excellent performance, so that's one that you can't count out, but another one I think would be an interesting dark horse would be Christopher Plummer for All the Money in the World, obviously stepping into the role very late in the game, and he gave a really good turn at the character, so still probably Sam Rockwell, maybe Willem Dafoe, possibly Christopher Plummer, maybe, probably not. Sticking with the men, for actor in a leading role we have Timothée Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name, Daniel Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread, Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out, Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour, and Denzel Washington, Roman J. Israel, Esquire. So, full disclosure, I unfortunately wasn't able to get to Roman J in time to make this video. I know, I really wanted to watch everything that I was going to be talking about, so put that aside, I can't obviously talk about his performance in that movie. That said, does anybody really think that it's not going to go to Gary Oldman? I mean, honestly. The man basically has this thing already on his mantle, and to borrow a phrase from another critic, this is a truly towering performance by Oldman. There were a couple moments when I saw him come through, but for the most part he was utterly lost in the character, and he really acted well through that incredible makeup that just completely transformed him. Even so, you really can't count out Daniel Day-Lewis. I mean, when the man's not cobbling, he's winning Oscars, so yeah, he's definitely the upset pick for this category. Chugging right along, for actress in a leading role, the nominees are Sally Hawkins, The Shape of Water, Frances McDormand, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Margot Robbie, I, Tonya, Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep, The Post. Meryl, love you, you're a national treasure. I hope you don't win in this category because what should and I think will win is Frances McDormand. She has amazing command of every scene she's in and conveys so much both in her speech and in her silence. Just watching her face when another character is speaking is like a masterclass in screen acting, so I would be shocked if she doesn't walk away with this trophy. If you have to pick an upset in this category, probably Margot Robbie, just because the Olympics are so fresh in a lot of Academy voters' minds. It shouldn't count, it might count, I hope it doesn't count, but anyway, we're down to the last big two, the hardest to predict in my opinion. Let's start with Best Director. Vying for the Director Oscar are first-time nominees Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk, Jordan Peele for Get Out, Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird, and Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water. Paul Thomas Anderson represents Phantom Thread and makes his second appearance in this category after getting a nomination in 2007 for There Will Be Blood. Lots of newcomers to this category, and the Directors Guild actually showed love to both Jordan Peele and Guillermo del Toro, so I think this is where my predictions could start going very wrong for me, but I think in directing I'm going to have to go with del Toro. This is a wonderfully charming film and a timeless cinematic fairy tale to add to the roster. Guillermo got some fantastic performances out of his actors and brought a really wonderful world to life here. And that leaves us now with the big kahuna, talking about Best Picture. Whew, alright, here we go. The 9 nominees here are Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So basically, outside of actually just watching the movies, doing any kind of research on this category, basically useless in helping you predict the winner here, I think. Just because there are so many different ways this could go depending on how the rest of the night went, and you know, I think there are 3 contenders at the top here vying for Best Picture in my mind. You have Shape of Water, right? 3 Billboards, and Get Out. And I think, you know, going away, since the Academy's been sort of trending away from the tradition of doing Best Director, Best Picture being the same film, I think we could see a split here, and so if Guillermo takes it for Shape of Water in directing, bold prediction here, Get Out will win Best Picture. This movie and Baby Driver were my 2 top films of last year, and there's been so much love and continued conversation about this film that I think it actually has a real shot of taking home the top prize. The film has so much relevant commentary, and it says it on a bevy of different levels, both overtly and very subtly. That said, I don't put it past 3 Billboards or Shape of Water to snag the win. Or another film. Or who really knows with this one, but So that's the ball game. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Those are my Oscar predictions. But now the real question is, what do you think will win in all of these categories I talked about, or some of the more technical ones that we didn't have time to get to? Jump in the comments section, throw in your list. I really want to hear what you think is going to take home the top prizes in film for the 90th Academy Awards. I can't believe it's been 90 years. Whew. Lots of films to catch up on if you want to deep dive into some great ones in Oscar history. But that will do it for my Oscar predictions. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and get ready for Oscar Sunday. I'm sure I'll probably have some kind of reaction to it in some way, shape, or form. So enjoy the night, and I will see you next time.